Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is Wednesday. We are blessed to have this opportunity to just have a conversation, of course, that is geared towards the betterment of our country. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers and to remind you that if you're watching us for the first time, kindly like and subscribe to the channel. It is a way of supporting us. And as well, allow me to acknowledge and to say a big thank you to Brenda Obedi at the comment section. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening. We really, really appreciate. Yes, Mr. Migura, allow me to give you the opportunity to say hi to our viewers before we get into the discussion.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We say this is Brother Benson Media, and here your opinion counts. Welcome each and everybody. I also want to thank Brenda Vedi for tuning in and also watching us. Wish you all the best, and also we hope that we're gonna have a very robust and engageful discussion.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for finding time to join. Allow me as well to remind our viewers that this is Brother Benson Media. Kindly like and subscribe. Mr. Megura, straight into the discussion of today. Uh, we have, of course, the by-election in in Kasipul, and maybe we start with the news that is coming there that ODM wins Kasipul, and the breakdown of the son of the former or the late member of parliament, Boyd Were, has been um, announced as the winner of that particular ODM primaries, which were going on in Kasipul. And not forgetting, of course, there is much that has also been seen in that particular area where there was what we call serious violence. And the question is, what really is happening? This is not the first time that we are seeing serious violence in whenever these primaries are being held. And so let's just get to the discussion first about the all by-election, of course, that was happening in Kasipul. And contrary to what people were really saying, Boyd Were, the son of the late member of parliament, has actually won. And what do you have to say about this, Miguda? Remember, we had several discussions on the same matter, and even our good friends, said that if it is not going to be possible for the son of Were to win this particular seat. Mr. Migura, what is your take, general view how the whole how the whole by-election was carried out in Kasipul? Let's first talk about Kasipul, and then we'll get to other constituencies. Miguda.
Thank you. First, let me correct you by saying it wasn't a by-election, it was party primaries, whereby party was going to choose their preferred candidate to face with other opponents in the by-election. By-election are going to come on November. Today we had what we call party primaries, and the people who believe that ODM was a vehicle to complete the people were permitted that to engage into primaries, and you find out that the way you have stated unequivocally that the son to the late Omondo Were has actually won the primary with a wide margin. That's a very wide margin, 18,000, and the runners up is 3,000. We don't At the end of the day, we don't get to look at the process or how it was conducted, but the final results, we are relying to the returning officer. What has returning officer declared? And from the intelligence we have received, returning officer has just declared Boydwere garnering 18,000 votes. That is what is there, and that's what is being recorded, and that's what's going to be presented to the IBC, whereas they are going to present the candidate. There is a dissatisfaction from other leaders or other people, but that's how it is. And like we have said, me particularly, I never predicted any, but I only predicted Kasipul. And also understand we had a deal with our friend Matamakades, because this one I was seeing it, it's just the beginning. Because right now, the ODM machinery and the party leader is going to come in Kasipul, because right now they are at liberty to campaign for their candidate. They can camp there for a whole week. And Kasipul Kabondo, I can just confirm to you that it is Boyd Were who's going to be the next MP. Even in Umoja, the ODM guy, there are some local politics whereby it's quite different to make it the way people want it to be. That is how I can view it. In terms of chaos, we witnessed chaotic incidents in the morning at the caravan, both ferrying runners up into Nogada and Mondowere Boyd. Their vehicles came to confrontation. They were hit. Some the glasses were hit, the bumpers, and also some goons who were affiliated to Mondowere Boyd also went to destroy a certain hospital that belongs to Newton Ogada. It was between the supporters who were competing for the primaries, and they were putting that it was unfair since the presiding officers were not trained, the presiding officers were not present in the morning. They had to wait for them to come, and they were blaming the process actually, but the candidate who has been declared was very specific that it is only one person is going to be declared. I can say this is not news in ODM primaries. This is not news in primaries. We have seen some chaotic whereby some people have lost their lives because of politics. Some people have destroyed some parts of their bodies because of politics. Some people have been injured. Like today, we have didn't report any incident of death. We have just reported the incident of vehicles being destroyed. And then the people went out and vote for the kinds of their choice. I can just say from my view or from the look of things, if you go to local, ODM is still strong in local. And this is what I was telling you the other day, that we can debate and argue about city politics. But when you go back to local, whereby it is dominant, and even you can ask yourself, why do you think many people who are doing their politics locally usually struggle to get ODM certificates? It is because it's very crucial at that stage. ODM certificates, you don't even need to campaign. Sometimes the people can just vote you in depending on that ticket. I believe that the people of Kasipul who are ODM affiliates were given right to vote for the person and let the best candidate win. Was one. Sikubali kushindwa, si mshindani. There is always next time in politics, and life does not end with politics. There is still life beyond politics. It was just what we can say a contest between parties, whereby there must be a winner. Someone must emerge victors, and someone might also emerge runners up. And from the look of things, Newton Ogada has emerged runners up, and now Boyd Were is going to face it off with the other candidates. Remember, there are other candidates who are in independent. They never participated in the primaries because they knew very well what was going to happen. And from the look of things, it's like the people of that region actually they participate, because if you add the total votes which were cast, they are almost 25,000. I think they are having 46,000 registered voters. Half can turn out to vote in a nomination. That one can tell you how that constituency is serious. If a half of the validly voters who are registered in the IBC have turned out to participate in a primary, in a by-election, watch by-election, how they are going to turn out in large number. Because some interest might make them not to turn. There can be some affiliates to Arok or some affiliates to Manibior. They can abstain because their candidates were not on the ballot. That's why I'm telling you, Kasipul Kabondo is hotly contested, and the 25,000 turning out in a primary by-election. We expect that in a by-election, maybe 25,000 could turn. I believe that the turnout is going to be huge when it comes to November. And I also smell a rat whereby most of these by-elections, people will turn out large because it's a do or die. And I just want to appreciate the young person, because my duty is to appreciate and also congratulate my fellow human being for doing good. He's a young man like me. There's no need of opposing him. There's no need of also try to make it look like he's the dad. Let us give him time. And also, I was just talking, I never need people around. Okay, I want to give my people, because some people might get less time, like Brother Benson. But Marco Bura, back to you. But all in all, I just want to confirm to you that my prediction was not in vain. The next MP was Kasipul Kabondo, irrespective of all circumstances. Like I've told them, I was at Kasipul Kabondo on the ground, speaking to the local people, Mamboga, at Oyugis Market. That boy is going to be the MP, irrespective of all circumstances.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. Allow me to welcome Mr. Barak and Brother Ben to the show, and just to say hi to them, watatuambia wako vipi, na naona ni kama Ben ako mbio. Sasa labda Barak utanikubalia nianze na yeye kabla atoroke, atupe maoni yake. Brother Ben, there was a by-election, party primaries in Kasipul Kabondo. And Boyd Were, son of the late Ongondo Were, clinched the ODM ticket with 18,210 votes. It is argued that his candidacy is emotionally charged, symbolizing continuity of his father's development agenda. He was, of course, being supported by Gladys Wanga, um, calling for the party, what we call party unity in that particular area. We've also seen quite a lot of things that people are speaking about. Boyd's win, of course, it's reigniting the debate on the political dynasties in Kenya. A question, of course, that has always been brought forth. Remember when the late senator of Omabay also passed, his brother was also fronted, and today is still a senator of Omabay County. And, there are also people who are saying that ODM favored him due to, of course, the family ties, while the supporters, of course, most of them, if you heard what they were saying, they were actually honoring the legacy of his father. But again, this also exposed quite a lot, what I can call internal ODM power struggles, where the governor, of course, was supporting Boyd. I don't know if you saw the clip of the deputy governor also coming out to say that it is not right, that they should not give a chance to Ongondo's son because it is going to be a continuity, according to him, the negative things, way of doing politics in that particular area. And you remember also the senator of Siaya, and of course the sister to Raila, Winnie Wenwa, at some particular point, of course, there was they also supported Newton Onyango Ogada, one that is now bringing a lot of issues again. And what is your take on that, Brother Ben? Before I bring many questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Makobura, Barak, and Miguda. Kasipul Kabondo, it is not something that we were not expecting, because I think like we've talked about it for quite some time now, that Were was going to be the winner in the primaries. This is due to the fact that Were, immediately his father died, and I think it clicked on Wanga's mind that he is the person who is going to replace his father, and he started it on the onset. Remember, even before the body could ifike nyumbani pale Oyugis market, he was given an opportunity to address the mourners, but the kind of the speech he gave that time was not a speech in somebody who is mourning the father, but was kind of like a very charged political speech. So that one was an indication that his journey had already started. Now, there's some things that I really picked in Kasipul Kabondo. One, the violence. For quite some time, or has a history. Kasipul Kabondo, during even the time when the late MP was there, especially when you look at the political or in that area, it has always been that of violence. We've seen so many people uh, who are fighting, like people who are missing their teeth and all that. So that is something that was witnessed. If you could see, I was just talking to one of the journalists on the ground. I don't know how true was it that there was a health facility that is belonging to Ogada that people went in and stormed. There were vehicles that were vandalized, that kind of like violence. And it's also tainting the image of the party, because for history, especially during the nomination, we've always seen the parties having such, like, as compared to the one of UDA, though they did it last week. But if you look at the violence that took place, especially in Kasipul Kabondo, and what took place in the UDA is quite much different. And this can also explain that the stakes were so much high, you know, in it, talking about of internal interest, because Wanga was supporting the son of the Were, and the other ODM members were supporting Ogada, including the DG. So that was the competing the interest that was there. So that was internal wrangle. But now, as we speak, Boyd Were has become the winner. But now, what next? Now what next is now going to be a bigger picture. And now this is now going to give Wanga an opportunity to come out of the closet, because I know Wanga had been supporting Boyd Were behind the scenes, because he never wanted to be seen as somebody who is not neutral, being a chairlady of the party. But now, since the candidate now they have is Boyd Were, so which means she will mobilize her resources and everything that she wants, and make sure that Were wins the seat. And I hope and I believe Were might win it, because look at the number of votes he has gotten, like around 18, and this is a nomination. So that one also would tell you what the ground speaks about. The ground speaks about. So, uh, Boyd Were, to me, I think even with the Rocco coming in and all the independent candidates, I don't think right now that they are going to defeat this boy, because like the party, the base for the party is on a high stake, and they're going to vote him. That is and there. Then another thing also that we can point out is that, when you look at Homa Bay, especially Gladys Wanga, the Ongondo Were used to be his point person. And if you used to be a point person, so if you look at other MPs who seems not to be so much into, apart from Kaluma, look at back in the days, we used to hear this misunderstanding between her and Millie Odhiambo. We also had that one with Omondi Karoli. We also had that one with Lillian Gogo. So when you look at the entire Homa Bay constituency, county, they only have like 2 MPs. That was Ongondowere and Kaluma. And now with Boyd coming in, so which means that his loyalty is going to be a little bit higher, and he will have bargaining for Kasipul Kabondo. But now the real battle is coming in the real election now. But for now, Boyd Were, I think he's in the a better hands. He might win that constituency.
Okay, thank you so much, Brother Barak. Karibu. You can also give us your take on what you saw happening in Kasipul, where the son of the late member of parliament has won what we call the ODM primaries, and of course it was mad with a lot of what we call violence, and not just violence. People were fighting and doing all manners of things. Brother Barak, what is your take?
Thank you, Buena Mark, and hope you are doing well and me good. I think what happened in Kasipul was expected. I don't know. I don't think it really surprised anybody because once ODM decide to support a relative of the late member of parliament, we've seen them succeeding like I think 100%. We've not seen them losing when they decide to support the late. Once they have a seat, then and the representative is deceased, they usually ensure that a relative has taken over. We've seen that because we've seen that in Kibra when Ken Okoth passed away. You've seen that uh, in other parts, and it's not only in ODM zone, even in other parts like you remember when Lona Laboso died during when she was in ODM, the sister took over, Joyce Laboso. When Kipkalia Kones died, the wife Beatrice Kones took over. Even when Yusuf Haji died, the senator, the son, I think they took over. So we've seen this trend that if a relative dies, and if a member of parliament dies, a relative takes over. I think Miguda gave an example of, is it you, Miguda, who gave an example of Kajuang, the late Otieno Kajuang died and Moses Kajuang took over. And up to now, he's still the senator. So this trend, we saw that the people of Malava refused when they decided not to nominate the son of the late Malulu Injen. So I think people are saying that it's perpetuating a dynasty where if you pass away, your seat is taken by your son, and they try as much as they can to ensure that he continue the legacy. I think now that that young man has been given the nomination, now you will see Gladys Wanga now leading ODM brigade in campaigning for him. And I think the likes of Babuino who believe in the youth leadership, I don't know what reason they will have not to cite, not to campaign for this young man. Because on one hand, if you believe in the youth leadership, then a young person has gotten the nomination. Then even if he was supported by who, I think it's the right thing is to do is just to support him, to take the lead, to take the mantle. Then let's see how he's going to perform in parliament once he gets there. He has I think 2.5 years to prove himself, because normally after inheriting that seat like Imran Okoth did, when the general election came, he was kicked out because maybe the powers that be did not like his way of doing things. So I think this young man will also have to prove himself, and if he does not prove his usefulness, I think in 2027 he will be kicked out, because that is how UDM operates. They give you an opportunity. If you don't prove your usefulness, and I understand, I think you understand what I mean by usefulness to the party, you will be kicked out, and somebody else will be brought on board. And just watch the space. That guy who was being supported by, you said when the likes of when and so on and so forth. Just watch the space, how he will he might be brought on in the picture in 2027. So right now it'll be told you, wewe tulia tu, acha huyu kijana amalize hii ya baba yake, hii ilikuwa yao. Then 2027 the young man will be shortchanged, and so it's just business. So the only unfortunate thing is violence. I don't know why Kasipul is synonymous with violence. Yeah, they don't want to conduct themselves in a way that is civilized. They must beat up each other. They must destroy property. They must. I think they need to come of age and understand that politics is just a matter of electing whoever you want. Then after that, allow them to work and wait for another chance to do the coming election and kick them out or allow them to continue. So violence it has no room for politics, especially democracy. But unfortunately, in Kenya, that is politics and violence. They go hand in hand, and you will be surprised where they are peaceful nominations, because in like in Kasipul, the ODM nomination is the main election. Once you have the ODM ticket, you are one leg is in one foot is in parliament. You're just waiting for formalization during the election day. So that's why you see that during the nomination they fight each other, because that is actually the main election. Back to you, Mark.
Okay, thank you so much, Barak. I'll just on the same matter, maybe if you can give us your take on this. The campaign period, of course, while these members of parliament were looking for this particular seat, we've seen a young generation. Of course, remember this Boyd is a Gen Z, and so part of the campaign, part of the wordings which were being used, of course, were let us give a Gen Z a chance. Let us unite as the youths. That was the campaign language that was being used. And so my question to you is, does Boyd's support base, is it largely youthful? Because that is what we were seeing. And is it a signal of the Gen Z's growing political clout? Of course, this is something that has been out. And remember, it is also coming at a point when there are several questions on whether the Gen Zs can come out politically and come with any meaningful, unite to ensure that they support one of their own. Could this be a signal of the growing political call among the Gen Zs? And then something else is we saw majority of those people who were supporting him. Of course, they were also youths or young people. The formula that he used, do you think it is one that can be used to influence the 2027 general election, being that the youths are somehow coming together and speaking in one language? What is your take, Mr. Barak? And then Miguda will also come to give his take on that.
Buena Mark, I don't know which youth you are referring to, because you are saying that youth are coming together and speaking one language. I think that is just it is just a narrative, because you've seen even youth disagreeing, and others supporting Malonzo, others supporting Maraga, others are supporting Matiangi, and others are supporting Baba, and others supporting. So, I think democracy, that is what democracy is all about. I think, in fact, you'll be worried if everybody spoke the same language in terms of politics, because it will mean that we are no longer having a democratic space. Because democracy, it means that you will have your opinion, I will also have mine. Good, if we share the same opinion, that will be very good. But at least all of us cannot have the same opinion. So I think I don't think this really applies in Kasipul, because the reason why I think ODM are supporting this young man is because of his father. It is not because he's a young person. Because we have so many other young people who declared interest. How comes they did not support either of them? So I think this is just a strategy of ensuring that the legacy of Omondo Were continues in Kasipul. And also, Migud has talked about the loyalty to Gladys. So Gladys Wanga is looking for members of parliament who can be loyal to her. And remember, she's having some problems with others. So she will really appreciate when that number increases, especially because Ngondowere was her right hand man. So she will really want to recruit another so that her numbers does not go down. So she was very strategic. And that's why I'm saying that now that the Lloyd has already now gotten the ticket. Now it's upon her as the party chair leader, but the party chairperson to lead the campaign, because now this is he's now a party candidate. So the leadership of the party must lead that campaign and ensure that he gets the seat. So if that is a strategy that ODM will use come 2027, I think ODM has owners, and the owners decides what to do with the nominations. And you will see that whether young or old, they don't care. They will just give nomination to whoever they believe is loyal, or whoever they believe can be loyal, because they value loyalty than any other thing. Yeah, ODM, as long as you are loyal, it doesn't matter how your age, and it doesn't matter your performance, your capacity to perform. They will just give you the nomination, and you will hear very soon they will start using the example of Malawi. You saw Malawi, Bingwa Mutharika is 84 years old, and he has just won an election, defeated the incumbent. So they will even use that to encourage Raila Odinga to vie, because you know, even in Malawi they elected a 84-year-old, and I think by 2027 Raila might be 84 actually. So I think we will be around 84 there. So you will see, you will hear these ODM members trying to use that to persuade him to be on the ballot, so that they can use that to continue to get these nominations, free nominations, and because of their loyalty to the party. So I think the 2027 is just going to be about who can we trust as ODM, yeah, who has been there with us and who can continue to serve the interest of the party. So that is why you will find that some members of parliament who are not performing at all, they'll just get nomination, and even if they seem that they're going to lose, their nomination will just be pata potea, and you find that they have been given the ticket. That's how DM has been operating, and I don't see them changing anytime soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Austin Otieno at the comment section, Brenda Obedi. Thank you so much for finding time to join us. Allow me to also acknowledge the presence of Capleton Wakiaga at the comment section as well. Our good friend Eric Ayaga, I can see him at the comment section as well. Eric, umepotelea wapi? You'll tell us, or you'll give us your view. Miguda, what is your take on the topic, of course, about the youths and politics, and specifically the Gen Zs? What is your take? Is the results that we saw in Kasipul, does it reflect the stand of the youths in the coming general election? Can it influence? Are there some lessons that you're getting out of it as a people? Can we see? Do you think we are going to see some consistency? Me good.
Okay, I think before I talk, you can share the link with the Ayaga. Ayaga said he wanted to join today. Yesterday, he said. So maybe I think he's around. If he's on the conversation, you can just share the link with him so even he can come in. I just want to focus on one issue here. When you talked about the youth and the Kasipul by primaries in ODM, I want to focus in ODM. ODM is a very interesting party because once Raila loves you, okay, let me say like that. Once Raila admit your ideology or whatever, your character, we call it in local dialect, Juogi. Once that spirits of you connect with that of Raila, you'll get that ticket. It doesn't matter how you're going to get it. Even right now, if I want to contest for any seat in the country, then it happens we meet and he shared with me any constituency or in short, if you have a goodwill from Raila Odinga in ODM, you'll get that ticket. Even for people like Mbadi have enjoyed it from 13, 17, 20. You understand what I'm saying? Because that goodwill from Raila Odinga, that one is true. So it doesn't matter whether you are young or old. Look at Adipo Okuome. Adipo Okuome, I think, is the eldest in parliament. He is among the MPs in Kenya, but he was given a certificate because of that goodwill. Once the spirit of you have the connection, the Raila spirit, you can get that. And also, there are some people you must look upon when you are, you must be strategic if you want to be an MP. Like if you are in Mobile County, if you connect with Wanga and even Mbadi, but not Mbadi, not that much influential when it comes to Raila's decision. In Mobile County, I'm seeing Wanga. If you are closer to Wanga, there's how, even if you want to be an MCA, try to get Wanga. Then you will be given certificate. And then also in Raila's circle, if you can get people like Ida Odinga, Oburu Odinga, and even Junet to a certain extent, but not that much. Even if you are known to SG like Sifuna, you can't get certificate. There are people who can give certificates without going through SG of the party. Right now, I'm convinced that people like Ida, people like Oburu, and Wanga in that circle, and partly Junet, if you have a good connection with those people, you are going to be given certificate of ODM. That I can assure you. That's why I told you that even right now, if I must run for it, in that case, I must be strategic before you go to the people. Who knew Boyd? No one knew Boyd, but today Boyd has garnered 18 votes. Remove Ongondo Were. Let's focus on Boyd. Leave those two names, Ongondo Were. Boyd. Who is Boyd? Boyd was not known until the time the father was killed. And today, he is the popular candidate in Kasipul Kabondo in the primaries. So it is not about the people or your constituency. It's how you relate, and that goodwill from Raila Odinga can give you party ticket. And not that I'd want to blame the people contested, because also we are a democratic society. Even though I might have a goodwill from Raila Odinga, but doesn't mean that other people cannot contest. They can also contest so that the minority can have their say. But the reality part is that if Raila accepts you, whatever you today, if Raila accepts you, you can be the MP for that Kibra, the Kibra one, which was cited by Barack. And then lastly, to make it conclusive, if you look at I want to cite one county, Migori County. Migori County, Eddie Okech was leading in the primaries, in the opinion poll. Remember when Ben Olojo passed away, there was a vacancy in the senatorial seat for Migori County. So the people of Migori County had a duty to go for the by-elections. But Eddie Okech, having sensed that Raila declared Ochilo the senator when they were doing the burial of Ben Olojo, already Raila said that let Ochilo Yako be the senator. Then Eddie Okelo went for the independent, and he was actually the leading candidate. So after all those things were done, one blah blah blah, primary submission of the names, Raila dedicated one day and went to Migori with the corporate chopper, and he was accompanied by, I can say, ODM brigades, the inner circle. There are many inner circles in Raila's circle. There are their family circles, their friend circles, their party circles. So that's why there are so many organs in that ODM. So when he took those people by him to Migori County, he make one trip in all sub-counties During elections, Ochilo was the Migori senator, and people never believed, although it was very competitive because Eddie Okech was having a lot of support from the state by that time, and actually William Ruto was supporting him, and William Ruto gave him a lot of money, including Chopper. He was campaigning so for him to move very fast in the county. And by the time he was very youthful, and he got a good number of youths. So this thing is not about youthful or about whatever you want to say. It's about the goodwill from the party leader. I'm specific about ODM. And to justify my example, Raila was very clear. Raila was very clear. I don't know why people tend not to believe some of these things. During the burial, he said in Luo, but I just want to put it in English because of the viewers. He said, "The king is gone. Long live the king." Even though Omondo Were has died, but Omondo Were must continue. In a simpler terms, what was he? What did Raila meant? He meant that the next MP that the party support is Boyd Were. He doesn't need to say it that it is Boyd Were. So to me, sometimes you need to understand these things. And lastly, Sifuna was so very clear in the funeral that I will come back here to campaign for this family because the way we were having a good relationship with the Ngondowere because this was the party. So that was the position of the party by that time. And even Babu Owino said, because Barack talked about Babu Owino, it's very important also to add. Babu Owino also spoke and he said that Ngondowere was his ally. So you understand where the party is. That is where the ODM is. The people I've mentioned for you, that is where that's the heartbeat of ODM. So if they have made the decision to support Boyd, it was very obvious that he was going to, and look at that I can say that gap, 18 Ks against 3 Ks. Really, the party is still popular in Kasipul, and the ODM team now will go to Kasipul as now our party candidate. This is our party candidate. Now they're at liberty. You'll see people going, SG will go, people like Junet will go, you'll see governors, people like Orem can go, you will see Ochila Yako, Simbarati now, because it's their thing. We must restore, we must take our seat back because it was for ODM. That's now when the rubber will meet the road. And some people can say are just warming for 2027, people like Manibior, but I'm persuaded beyond reasonable doubt that the next MP for Kasipul Kabondo is Boyd Were based on the circumstances I've mentioned.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Miguda. To I can see our good friend Laban Misiani saying hi. We're also saying hi to you. And anybody thinking apart from Laban Misiani is saying that anybody thinking of anything apart from Boyd Were is wrestling their wasting their time. Okay. Thank you so much, Laban, for finding time to join us and for giving us, for engaging us at the comment section. We really appreciate, and we hope that you're doing good. Yes. So, talking about Raila, there was what we call Tifa polls. This is one of a company that has been doing more of polls in Kenya, and their latest poll currently reveals that Kenyans are split on what role Raila should play in 2027. According to this poll, they're saying that 32% want him to support President Ruto's re-election, while 23% want him to run for president again. 17% prefer he backs another opposition candidate, while 14% thinks he'll retire. Well, uh, the same Tifa is also saying that UDA support has dropped from 38% in 2022 to 16% in 2025. Of course, ODM has also declined from 32 to 13%. And that brings me to this question. Mr. Barak, what is your take on Tifa's finding or poll about ODM and UDA? The level of popularity has decreased, and as well, there are quite a number of views from the people of Kenya. While some are saying Raila should support the president, some are saying that he should go for presidency. Some are saying he should back another candidate. What is your take, Mr. Barak?
Uh, in this country, there's a problem of credibility of opinion polls because we've seen opinion polls not really representing facts. So, in terms of the dwindling popularity of UDA, that's expected because when DCP was created, DCP eated on UDA support, so it had to reduce, and because now the popularity of DCP is eating into the popularity of UDA, and in terms of ODM, yeah, ODM has withered so many storms since its formation. And after each and every election, normally the popularity reduces. If you look at from 2007 to 2013, 2017, 2022, because of different dynamics, and even in 2027, it is projected that the popularity will go down compared to the previous election. So normally that is because of the different realignment in the political landscape. So you find that because of so many issues that are happening in the country and the political realignment, sometimes political parties lose support, and as they lose the support, they also gain in other aspects. So I think that now reflects the, I don't know, and I cannot affirm that percentage because that percentage is very low. Because you will find that these parties, UDA and ODM, they have national representation. You'll find that they have a membership, not membership, members of parliament from across the country, if not in, because you find that coastal region, Western Kenya, in rural Northern Kenya, at least they have some members. So I think giving them that percentage, I think maybe I don't know who are the respondents to that research. Maybe it didn't come out very clearly. But in terms of their popularity reducing, that's a fact. But in terms of the actual percentage they were given, I think there might be a huge margin of error in that findings. And in terms of people wanting Baba to support Ruto, to support to vie himself, or to support uh, another opposition candidate, I think Baba is better off supporting Ruto as opposed to supporting another candidate because Ruto is the incumbent. And normally the incumbency has an advantage. I've seen many people comparing 2027 election with what happened in Malawi, but without understanding that Malawi and Kenya have different dynamics, and the voter behavior of Malawi are not the same way. The voters in Malawi do not behave the same way the way voters in Kenya behave. What shapes elections in Kenya is different with what shaped election in Malawi. So, and you look at Malawians electing a former president at 85, it shows you, yeah, that they really have a different dynamics compared to Kenya. So, I think the incumbency has an advantage. That's why if Raila is better off supporting the incumbent. Raila has vied 5 times, and sometimes he has won but not declared. So I don't know those who are pushing to vie. I don't know what is the motive behind pushing to vie, because if even the person that you want him to vie against won, when he had even the incumbent, the outgoing president supporting him. So what assured that do you have that right now? It's his time. It is the perfect time now to beat him. So I think those are just issues that people who don't understand, because the incumbent has an advantage of incumbency. He has the advantage of state machineries at his disposal. So he might use that one to his advantage, because he's a human being, and you know, human beings also are rational. So he will use whatever he can to his own advantage. Now, Raila supporting another opposition candidate, that will not be rational, because already he is in a working relationship with the incumbent. So that gives him an advantage, because you are told that a bird at hand is better than two birds in the bush. So why should you let go of this one bird that you have in your hand, because you've seen so many birds in the bush you want to go and hunt? So I think logically, Raila is better off supporting Ruto than vying and supporting a different candidate. But he has his democratic right to choose. But many analysts will tell you, as things stand now, and with all odds at stake, Raila is better off supporting the incumbent come 2027. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe before I let you give us your final remarks, you can also no, I think we still have like two things to talk about. Uhuru Kenyatta may hand over Jubilee Party to Fred Matiang'i. It is rumored that there is going to be a party handover or change of party leadership. And of course, this is in preparation to the coming general election. We are preparing for 2027 presidential bid, where Dr. Matiang'i has come out and he has said that he is interested in this particular seat. And we've had Jubilee members saying or coming out to say that, it's Matiang'i, according to them, who has the capability of having this presidential fight with the current president. And according to them, they think or believe that Matiang'i will win the general election as the president. And again, remember the celebration which has been happening in Mombasa. Kalonzo Musyoka was actually invited and he has rejected Raila's invitation. Where, what does this tell us? In the field of politics, it's a signal. Is it signaling the possibility of rift between Raila and Kalonzo? Barak, you can give us your take, and then Miguda will come and give us general take as well.
I think Matiang'i is not having good advisors, because going for Jubilee Party is the worst mistake he's doing as a politician. Maybe he's not a politician. He's positioning himself as a project of Uhuru Kenyatta. And remember, under Jubilee, let us just be realistic. It is under Jubilee that this country was messed up economically completely. It is under Jubilee government is where this country we witnessed the mutilation of the Bill of Rights. You remember the passing of security laws, where now civilians are being taken to military courts. Those laws were passed under Jubilee. And remember, under Jubilee is when this country borrowed until they even went overboard in terms of the debt ceiling. It is under Jubilee that is when we had the grand corruption of SGR, the grand corruption of Eurobond. So I think Kenyans are just jokers if you want to entertain that idea of Jubilee coming again into government, because this country saw a lot of bad things during Jubilee time. And remember, it is under Jubilee that when we witnessed the violation of human rights in terms of killings of mysterious killings and bodies being dumped in rivers. And even remember the 2017, the after the post-election violence of 2017. So if you want to entertain that idea of Jubilee coming again, what are they coming to do? To finish off the country completely, or to do what? Yeah. So I think if Matiang'i would have been a serious politician, he could have came up with a different political outfit, because the pains that Jubilee caused us as a country, the wounds are still fresh. Yeah, even Ruto is a product of Jubilee regime. Yeah, because of how Uhuru messed up everything, and people thought that now Ruto is the Mkombozi. He's the only one who can bring salvation to us as a country. So all these are amalgamation of the evil that Jubilee caused this country. So I think it's upon us to get serious and stop entertaining this idea of return of seeing Uhuru as someone who is now a saint, uh, someone who messed up the economy of this country. That now he's being given uh, red carpet reception, and now he's handing over the party to Matiang'i, so that he can, people who were transactional leaders, people who made business with the public coffers. Yeah, I think if you people don't just want to talk about these things. The, it is under Jubilee that economic of this country came down crumbling. Yeah, and up to now, I don't know when we are going to recover as a country, because of the debt and the grand corruption that we witnessed under Jubilee government. So anybody entertaining that idea of Jubilee must be insane. Yeah, you say that you don't understand, you don't know facts. You say that you don't understand what happened under Jubilee, or you are just insane, and you don't care about the future of this country. So anybody entertaining that idea of Jubilee must be insane, because they don't understand how this country suffered under Jubilee government. You remember the subsidy, the story of subsidies, and how these people milked billions from the treasury in the name of subsidizing fuel prices, in the name of subsidizing unga prices. Yeah, I think. Hey, anyway, Ruto rejecting Raila's invitation to attend 20 years of ODM, that is his personal choice. And I think attending that event, he was not losing anything or gaining anything, because I think that it was a founders congregation where everybody who participated as a founder member was invited. We are waiting to see whether Uhuru will attend that event, because he was also one of their founders. And I think maybe Kalonzo is feeling guilty, because he is the one who ran away with the ODM Kenya when when during 2007 election. So and that also made it easy for Kibaki to steal 2007 election, and leading to the post-election violence. So these things are hanging over his head, because he contributed in a big way in that post-election violence 2007. Because if he could have been a gentleman and just stayed together with other ODM members, maybe it could have been impossible for Kibaki to rig 2007 election. But he played in Kibaki's game, and he went to the Kibaki side, and whatever happened. Maybe he's not very much comfortable being associated with ODM because of that, because I don't see any other reason. Because these politicians are friends. They attend weddings of their kins, they attend funerals of their kins, and they speak very well of them. So I think there is nothing more personal than refusing to honor an invitation. Maybe he has something personal, but I don't think it is something that really, because even Kalonzo not attending or that celebration, what loss is ODM getting because of that? Yeah, or what value would have been for him to attend? So I think these are just political gimmicks that has no really significance. Back to you, Mark. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Barak, for giving us your take. And to our viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. Mr. Migura, what is your take? You can give us your take as well before we finish.
So first, I want to discuss the issue of Tifa. Then I'll finish the issue of Matiang'i. Tifa Paul, there, in terms of party popularity, they have made a big error. They have lied to us, because I can agree that UDA has lost significantly, because UDA, when DCP left, when Gashaga left with certain senators and MPs and even MCS and also the people, so it's like this UDA was split. So UDA could have decreased in popularity significantly. But ODM, who has left since we established the previous government? I don't see any more of ODM has left. They've just, even the SG Sifuna has not left. They're saying Sifuna is the popular with youths. He has not left with youths. So I don't think that poll was credible. I disown it. I don't buy it. The other one, for Raila Odinga supporting William Ruto in 2027, or Raila Odinga retiring from politics or supporting other candidates. I don't think Raila is going to retire. Raila is going to be active in the 27, so we can remove that number 4. Raila supporting another candidate in opposition. Who is that candidate? Under what circumstances can he support those candidates? What I'm seeing from my view, if Raila supports William Ruto, they maintain relationship with Ruto, it means they are going to get goodies. I think the position or whatever they're getting right now. But even if Raila goes for presidency, and I can assure you, Raila vying to be president 2027, to me, I saw somebody in the comment when I was on to the YouTube comments that hiyo ni nini atafuta jawaipata. But that's not important. What is important here? After he lose that election, he will still go to the government through backdoor. So why was he vying then? Because why do you vie? Then you can negotiate, because that's a trend. There's no way Raila will be outside. There's no way Raila will be outside. And right now, in 2027 now, he will be retiring towards 2032. The best he can do is 2027. Based on what circumstance, 2032 he cannot do. But 2027, but he's still active, energetic, he can move across the country, the chopper. So that one he can do very perfectly. So as he retires, as he exit the political stage. So do you want him to exit in opposition? I don't think he's not going to exit in opposition. He's going to exit in government, because that has been. So even if he vies, he's going to get into the government. So what do? Do you vie to bring more chaos so that you can be accommodated, or you continue the current arrangement structured, or you sit down and have a new structured agreement? To me, I'm seeing a scenario whereby there's going to be a conversation and a structured one, and they can work. Or this is my opinion, not that this is the perfect opinion. This is just mine. Anybody can have the opinion. I'm seeing a scenario whereby they can have a structured dialogue with William Ruto, and deciding on other factors. That when we came in, there were some acts which were portraying bad governance. But up to this point, you have done 1, 2, 3. But going forward, we work with you on these conditions and also these positions. And even look at the issue of SHA. SHA was not working until there was that reshuffling, and also bringing people like Ologa as the PS, people, experts, some experts. It starts working. The issue of affordable houses, actually people are not buying it until now. If you go across the country, you'll find that people are actually getting inside those houses. There are so many issues that actually happen. And also remember, this is why I don't see Raila getting out, is because Ruto will also be persuasive to him that when we sat down, you saw us going to your area. We brought you saw those things going on right now. My concentration is let us read the 2025-2026 budget. And that's why I'm also going to watch it. I'm still giving time. 2025-2026 budgets, the way it was allocated, those projects are ongoing. Makubura. And even Migori County was given 700 million. Not we are saying that because they want the Luo votes, but we have been having presidents before. Those things have not been happening in those regions. So I think the budget allocation, that one will be discussed when people sit down. Okay, we allocated how much? Were they realized? Okay, so if we look at 2026-27 budget and we realize that, okay, this thing is working, why can't we continue this trend to ensure that marginalized, minority, youth, persons with disabilities are accommodated in this government structure? That one, in a normal democratic space, or wherever people got sense, why do you bolt out to go and cause chaos in future to come in, rather than having a structured conversation on how you can better the current arrangement if it's working? I could advise Raila that way, according to me. But it's also individual who has his own opinion and decision, and no one makes for him decision if he decides so. But that's how I could have looked at it. The issue of Jubilee, Makopura, before we go into the Jubilee party, there is a meeting actually on Friday, there's a meeting going on in Gusii Stadium, and Matengi also wanted to take part in that, to have a certain meeting in Gusii. But Arati has insisted that the ODM people are also going to have their celebrations, and he has also tried to refer to Matiang'i to other other venues. This is now interesting. This is now the politics. You people you haven't seen politics. Sivarati has made it very clear that it's also the governor by. I'm the governor of this county. I decided where I'm hosting my people, and also you can't come here and try to kunipanga. There are so many fields you can, and you know what happened when Arati made Gachagua to shift to Trans Nzoia before it was supposed to hold a certain rally in Kisii. So I'm telling you how politics work. So siasa imeanza na hii ndio utamu ya siasa sasa. So there will be a time whereby people will stand their ground, and that's the time when you realize that the things like Matiang'i and Jubilee and work. Lastly, the issue of Matiang'i and Jubilee. I have my view that we have had Jubilee was established in 2017, and it actually worked, and it turned over power to UDA. What is it that Jubilee never did that they want to come back to do? That's the question we are asking. And furthermore, it's very clear that you can have 1 term, 2 term, and the people can give you. If a regime has worked for 2 terms, why do you extend a 3rd term, 15 years? Bringing Matiang'i to me is just like extending 15 years. It's unconstitutional. It is unconstitutional. Why do you extend 15 years and people should work for? You are bringing another person in the name of Matiang'i, but the real sense is Jubilee. That is the extension of constitutional term limit. They want to extend it through backdoor. But what's important is that there's no way Matiang'i can make it to presidency with Jubilee. He ought to have a different political party, but not Jubilee. Jubilee, no. If he want, maybe he doesn't want to become president, but if he seriously want to win against William Ruto, let him have a different political party, not Jubilee.
Okay, thank you so much, my good.
Let me explain this one. Let me explain this one before. Ayaga, not Ayaga. Don't just generalize my thought. I've said that the stadium which is currently constructed in Migori County was allocated 700 million. Not that the entire Migori County, no. Just don't generalize my statement. Be specific what I've said. I've not said the entire Migori County. I've said there was allocation of 700 million. And as I'm speaking to you, I was on that stadium. The contractor was there. In 6 months' time, this is not really, this is me telling you. In 6 months' time, that stadium will be launched. So that's what I've said. I've not said that the entire county was allocated. There are some specifics I've seen in the budget, like there are roads which I've seen, and that's why I was inviting you to look at the budget of 2025-26. There are some allocations which are actually currently being done. That's what I'm saying. Not that the entire. So you must get the facts right. I was specific about Migori Stadium, not county.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. Allow me to as well acknowledge the presence of the comments, those, especially those of you who are engaging us at the comment section. Really appreciate. Thank you so much, Laban Misiani, Eric Ayaga, Austin Otieno, Brenda Obedi. Allow me to also acknowledge Capleton Wakiaga, among others. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate. And my last question to you, Mr. Barak, is I don't know whether you saw the speech of the president where he called for permanent ceasefire in Gaza and demanded Africans' inclusion in the UN Security Council. He also highlighted Kenya's role in stabilizing Haiti. And there's also a statement that he made about the police officer in Haiti, who, according to the families, they're saying that they've not had any communication from the government team. The other day, they were being told that the guy disappeared. They're still looking for him. And the president was confirming that he died. Several confusion where the families are actually calling for truth. They want truth out of all that. You can give us your take on that, Mr. Barak, and then you give us your final remarks as well as Mr. Miguda. Barak, you can go first.
Thank you, Mark. I think I'll be very brief and I'll just talk about one issue. President Ruto, and I think this is not even Ruto. I think there are so many African leaders who usually talk about demanding a permanent seat at the Security Council, at the UN Security Council. I think this is just madness because if you look at the countries with the permanent seats at the UN Security Council, their contribution to the UN general is very, very huge. I don't know if you know that the US and China alone contribute about 40% of the UN budget. So the question that we should be asking as Africa, how much are we contributing to the UN budget? Because you cannot be depending aid. You cannot be dependent on aid from an organization. Then you go there with demands. Yeah. So you cannot demand from something from someone who is feeding you. Africa must, first of all, build its capacity and become independent economically so that they can be supporting the United Nations budget. From there, then they can have a say on how UN should treat them. But as long as we still depend on aid from the UN, or more peacekeepers come and help us restore peace, or we are going to Haiti, we need support, give us money. then you are going there with the demands. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, wanasemanga mfungwa hachagui jela. So as long as we are still dependent on foreign aid, there is no way. We are just, our only argument is that population. We have a huge population. India alone has a huge population than Africa. India. So if India goes to the United Nations to demand something, it is equivalent to the whole of Africa. Yeah. So these leaders, they have what we call misinformed, misplaced priorities. India, Brazil, they have a right to ask because they've built their capacity, and right now they are almost becoming developed, joining the developed countries of the world. Look at Japan, Germany; those are countries that do not have permanent seats. But what are they contributing to the United Nations? So, as long as we are still begging, when we go to UNGA, we go there with a list of 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 uh, of uh, of things that we want to be helped. Our presidents are going to UNGA to beg. When presidents are coming there to advance their interest of their country, we are going there with a bowl to beg for funds, to beg for I don't know what. It means that we cannot demand anything from this organization. Therefore, it should be known to all African. It is very sensitive contributing nothing to the United Nations. That will never help us. That will never work. And you also talked about the issue of that officer who got lost. It was surprising to hear the president was saying that he passed away, and yet we know that they've been saying that he got lost and they are still looking for him. Maybe it's in an assumption, but once you say that and you're the head of state, it means that you have information, but that information will not shared with the family, which is very unfortunate. But that is the country that we are in. And then we demand Security Council, sit in the Security Council, permanent seat, and even just saying the truth alone is a problem. So I think we have a lot of things to work on before we start demanding of anything from the United Nations Security Council. Yeah, thank you so much. And my final remarks is that I just want to extend my appreciation to all those who join us through the comment section. Laban, Eric, Andrew, and who else, and others and Brenda, Austin, and Brenda. I just want to extend our appreciation to them. Thank you for keeping us active tonight, and we're looking forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Thank you to Miguda, Mark, and Ben who joined briefly. Tuonane kesho, mbaki salama na Mungu awabariki. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Barack, for finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate, and we don't take it for granted. You finding time to be with us, it's an honor. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow. Miguda?
I just want to make my final remarks, Makubura, because I think Barak has just concluded that issue of UNGA. I just want to say I appreciate all of you who are in the studio and the comment section. See you tomorrow. Bye bye, everybody.
Okay, thank you so much. Allow me to also take this opportunity to say a big thank you to Brenda Obedi, Austin Okumu, Capleton Wakiaga, Eric Ayaga, Laban Misiani, and Brenda Obedi. Thank you so much. And everyone who joined us this evening, we really appreciate your presence. And we're encouraging you to kindly like and subscribe. If you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye for today.